In an attempt to make home buying more affordable, President Trump floated this idea of a 50-year mortgage in a social media post. The purpose of a longer-term fixed-rate mortgage would be to lower the monthly payment for homeowners. The longer the term of the loan, the smaller the principal needed each month to pay it off in full. Using the latest median sale price of a home from September, $415,200, according to the realtors, and the current interest rate of about 6.3%, according to Mortgage News Daily. On a 30-year fixed loan with a 20% down payment, the monthly payment of just principal and interest would be $2,056.
All right, I'm going to stop right there. First off, $400,000 medium sale price. It's not bad, especially if you're in a major city. 6.3% interest rate could be better, but we've seen higher, right? 20% down payment. I would tell you right now, most people don't have 20% down. Most people are using FHA loans, which gives you an option to put down 3.5%, or some, if you serve the country, you have the VA loans with 0% down. So automatically, I know most people mortgages, the principal interest is not starting off at no $2,000 a month. It's not. It's no doubt about it. If anything, they're putting down 3.5%, and that payment is probably like $2,700, $2,800, $3,000, which obviously this doesn't include your insurance or your property taxes as well. So I can see how people are saying that they cannot afford it. So let me be candid. I understand it intellectually. I do. I get it. In theory, if you have a longer mortgage, 30 to 50 years is insane to me, though. I'm not gonna lie. That is wild. I would never, ever do anything like that. I'm gonna play a little bit more, but on the surface, I would never I'm not even getting a 30-year mortgage. Let me continue though. Let me not get sidetracked. Let me continue.
Now, if you raise the length to 50 years at the same interest rate, that payment would be $1,823, and that's a savings.
Listen, man, that's not even a big difference. You're talking about literally 200 and some change. Let's call it $223 is what you're saving. Let's call it that. That's not enough, man. That's not enough to add 20 additional years. Guys, is this thing on? Guys, I'm 37 years old. I will be purchasing our first home in 2027. So the summer 2027. So let's call it a year and a half from now. I'll be 39, right? 39 years old. If I get a 30-year mortgage, you're talking about me being damn near 70 before I pay off the mortgage. And if I get a 50-year mortgage, you're talking about me being almost 90 years old. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Let me hear him out.
Of $233 a month. Homeowners, however, wouldn't build equity as quickly, and that's because their principal payments would be smaller, and the amount of interest that they're paying to lenders would actually be 40% higher. Homeowners could still gain equity through home price appreciation, but home prices have been softening swiftly across the nation this year, with nowhere near the appreciation seen in the years before. Now, even realtors agree that the savings to homeowners would be minimal. Joel Berner, a senior economist at Realtor.com, said in a release, "This is not the best way to solve housing affordability. The administration would do better to reverse tariff-induced inflation, which is keeping the rates on existing mortgages high." The average age of a...
No. I'm not going for that. Let me bag up. No. All right. So, you know what's funny about this? Like, the tariffs have just been introduced less than a year ago, right? How is it that everything that goes quote unquote wrong, and I'm not saying that it doesn't have any effect, but hear me out. How is it all of a sudden something that's been in place for less than a year is now the cause of the affordability crisis as well? No. What was happening was when they was passing out loans to everyone and they had all, and then I'm not talking about the actual housing crisis of 2008. I'm talking about recently when things was going fantastic, the markets was booming, money was flowing around. This was around the time when everybody was getting the PPP loans and all those type of things. I know people who was purchasing homes who did not qualify for them in terms of without doing certain paperwork or doing let me just say, yeah, I just say that without doing the paperwork a certain type of way, they wouldn't have been able to qualify for the loan. Let me just put it like that's safe. Put it like that, okay? So with my understanding of that, you can't then come to me, guys, you got to start paying attention to what they're saying. You're not going to come to me less than a year, right? Or right at a year of something being in place, the tariffs induce inflation. They're going to tell me that this is the reason why the existing mortgages are, why the rates are being high. No way. There's 10 different other factors that I could name that has something to do with the rates and the actual, listen, I'm in Atlanta. Let me give you an example. I'm in Atlanta. And when I was looking a couple of years ago to buy our first home, the rates was like pretty good. 3%, 4%. I remember it being at 2.9% at one point in time. The housing prices here was insane. It was insane. You're talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in a pretty decent neighborhood, not the best neighborhood, not a bad neighborhood, but in the, in a good to decent neighborhood, the neighborhood that you would feel comfortable raising your family in. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses was going for $600, $650, $700. Don't let it be a 4-bedroom. Don't let it be in a good actual school district. You're talking about $750, $800, $900,000. I'm telling you for a fact. I said, oh no, I could put another $100K with it and go get a damn mini mansion. For that, I'm saying no, I wasn't gonna do it. So it wasn't necessarily the rates. I didn't care about the rates. Yes, if I can get a low rate, awesome. But I'm looking at the prices. That's what stopped us back then from actually, because we could have qualified and got one of those special programs and did the less than 20% down like I was talking about. But I knew that wasn't going to be a good idea because we was also going to get PMI too. PMI, what's that? Private mortgage insurance. That's not insuring the loan for you. That's insurance to the banks just in case you default, that they can be able to collect that money. So that's an extra fee, an extra 100, 200, sometimes extra 300. If you stay in the neighborhood that have HOA, that might be another 50, 100, 200, $300 on top of that. Plus, and a lot of people don't talk about this, when your value in your home increases, or the neighborhood, your community, the values of the home increase, that means also you're going to be reassessed and your property taxes are going to go up. Huh? Your property taxes are going to go up. Why is this important? Because your property taxes, your principal and interest, and your mortgage insurance are all included in your mortgage payment. And people don't think about that. They don't think about that and they don't talk about that. So I'm not going to, here's the best piece of advice I can give you guys. If you hear somebody say something, even me, if you hear me say something on this channel, on a video, or on anything you see, just take 5 minutes, go do your own research. Don't just go by what people tell you. Don't just go by what the news tell you. Okay? I think we have a affordability crisis, quote unquote, because of maybe tariffs is one of the things, but it's also, I think a lot of these home prices was artificially inflated. I do. And then when you have people who I have a rule of thumb. If I got to do all these magicians and flipping the numbers and making sure I show, the check stub with the overtime and if I got to do all that, I probably can't afford it. I probably can't. That's real. If I can't just give you my last 2 check stubs and qualify for whatever it is that I'm buying, that means I'm not ready yet. I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to take a little more time, have a little more patience, and get that thing when I'm truly ready, man. I love to hear what you think down in the comment section. Do you think the tariffs is the reason why we have an affordability crisis? Like, have you seen the increase in prices in your neighborhood? What about your home? I hope you guys have a fixed mortgage for you homeowners out there. And if you don't, what is going to be your strategy moving forward? How are you going to get out of that the ARM loan that you're in, the adjustable rate mortgage? I love to hear what you think. If you haven't already, guys, join the family, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. It's one thing to subscribe, but turn the bell on so you can get the notifications when I drop, huh? I'll see y'all in the next video. I love you. Peace.